In a stunning twist, Syrian President Bashar Assad has fled the country, closing a tumultuous 14-year chapter marked by civil war, international power struggles, and widespread suffering. Assad, who rose to power in 2000 as a reformist hope, leaves behind a legacy of brutality, 500,000 deaths, and the displacement of over 11 million Syrians. Assad's initial image as a tech-savvy young leader crumbled when protests in 2011 were met with relentless military force. Backed by Iran and Russia, his government waged a devastating war that included allegations of torture and extrajudicial killings in detention centers. Despite regaining control over much of Syria, Assad faced growing international isolation. Recent months saw a pivotal shift. A surprise offensive by opposition forces in late November led to rapid government collapses. Assad's allies, distracted by other conflicts, offered little support, signaling the end of decades of Assad family rule. Assad's fall marks the end of an era that began in 1970 with his father, Hafez al-Assad, who ruled with an iron grip for 30 years. Hafez shaped Syria into a Soviet-style state, silenced dissent, and built alliances with Iran and militant groups in Lebanon. Bashar Assad inherited this legacy under extraordinary circumstances, stepping into leadership after the untimely death of his older brother, Basil, who was groomed for power. Initially viewed as a reformist, Bashar Assad's early tenure brought cautious optimism. The brief Damascus Spring allowed open discussions and intellectual debate, but this hope was short-lived. Assad swiftly reverted to oppressive policies, silencing opposition and consolidating power through fear and force. His presidency reached a boiling point during the Arab Spring protests in 2011. Instead of addressing calls for reform, Assad unleashed his military on his people, escalating into one of the most devastating conflicts of the 21st century.